When you think about the types of data sources that aren't traditional, this is where Power Query goes above and beyond. So I can pull from a SharePoint list. I can pull from an OData feed, which is an open source mechanism to surface data connections. Things like Dynamics CRM, for instance, expose their data through an OData feed. Project Web app allows me to consume data through an OData feed. So a lot of the web services that are out there will have an OData connection at some capability that you can use Power Query to connect into. I can grab data directly from the Windows Azure Marketplace. By grabbing it from that Azure Marketplace, the big benefit is there may be data sources that I don't have access to that I need to pay some money for. In the past, I might not have known where I could consume that data. If I'm a small business, I have a limited amount of intelligence into the various data sources that are out there. By saying Microsoft Azure Marketplace, I can certainly sign in, purchase a particular component. Let's say that it's data for the top 25 organizations of advertisements in the US. I can buy that data. Once I've signed in, I can then download it. So all of that allows me to get access in an easier file. I'm going to skip over the Hadoop and HDInsight ones. Those are great ones if you have very large data sets. But even more mundane things like Active Directory or Exchange are here as potential data sources. Or even some things that are a little bit off the beaten path, like from Facebook. You can actually pull data in from Facebook to do some analysis on. So within the Power Query environment, I'm going to show off what happens if I do what's known as an online search. So this is a little bit different than doing a web search. A web search, I'm going to know the web page that I need to get the information from the beginning. In this case, I actually am going to start searching both public and private data sources. And in this case, I can go with, I'm going to look for some U.S. state temperature, if I can type, some U.S. state temperature extremes. It's been obviously a little bit cold recently, so I want to look and see some public data sources for that. And you can see right here, I've got a number of different sites that come up. When I hover over each of these sites, it shows me where the source is. So in this case, this is actually coming from data.gov. That's the EPA's public data source. I've also got the ability to pull it from specific areas like Wikipedia. So this is actually pulling it from Germany. And here I've got items within US itself. So one of the things that's critical to look about this is that it has the actual data source highlighted. I could load this into my document right now, but if you look at the types of data that are contained within sources like Wikipedia, typically you need to do some additional formatting to really light them up. So before I pull that in, I'm going to choose to edit this data, and it will actually fire up my query editor for the environment.